Ganges, the most sacred river of the Indian subcontinent, is also an unique wildlife habitat. Its waterways and riverine islands covered with reed beds and grasslands are vibrant refuge of numerous plants and animals. The stretch between Farakka barrage and Manikchak Ghat of Malda district has been designated as an important bird area or IBA by the BirdLife International and Bombay Natural History Society. It is among the top 20 most important stopover site of migratory ducks and Arctic waders, selected by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India under National Action Plan for Conservation of Migratory Birds and their habitat along Central Asian Flyway. Every year, thousands of migratory ducks and waders spend the harsh winter months in the Panchanandupur area of Farakka Iba. Among the larger migratory ducks, the most colorful and prominent are common shelduck. They breed from Eastern Europe to Central Asia, and in winter it reaches Northern Africa, Iraq, Northern India and Bangladesh. In Farakka, they are almost regularly seen. The common poacher, regarded as globally threatened by BirdLife International, could be seen in thousands in this area. These medium-sized ducks generally prefer large lakes, marshes, swamps, and slow-flowing rivers. Due to poaching and habitat loss, their numbers are sharply decreasing in their breeding ground. It is quite encouraging to see them in good numbers in the Farakka Iba. However, many other duck species are also seen floating on the Ganges water along with the poachers, and that includes red-breasted poacher, gadwall, northern pintail, gargani, northern shoveler, and Eurasian widgeon. Some rare birds are also seen with such huge flocks like the falcated duck. Ruddy shelduck, one of the most common migratory ducks of the area, and generally shy as they are persecuted by humans for their meat. Tufted ducks, a fairly common bird of the area, are often seen swimming on the Ganges water in thousands. On rare occasion, birds like these greater white-fronted goose arrives at Farakka Iba and becomes a major attractions among birdwatchers and photographers. Not only just migratory ducks, many resident and local duck species like these Indian spot-bill ducks are also commonly seen in the Iba. In northern and western India, however, these duck species are quite common, but they are seldom seen in West Bengal. Among the larger water birds, the most noteworthy is the black-necked stork, which is regarded as near threatened by the BirdLife International. They have vanished from most part of West Bengal, and Farakka Iba is one of the important sites for their existence. About 1 meter in height, with a heavy bill, these tall birds prefer fish, frogs, and snakes for their diet. But they can also predate on smaller water birds like ducks and grebes. The colorful painted storks are rarely found in this area and are largely seen feeding in shallow waters on the fishes and frogs. The globally threatened woolly-necked stork is a resident bird of the area. They are generally seen in pairs, but in non-breeding season, up to a dozen birds could be seen feeding together on the bivalves and small fishes along Ganges. The migratory glossy ibis, on the other hand, are generally seen during passage migration. They arrive as early as mid-September and moves further downstream towards Bangladesh. In 1946, one bird was ringed in the Siberian portion of USSR and was recovered from this IBA on 1948. This suggests that most of our birds come from Siberia. Waders are a group of birds of the order Charadiformes, commonly found along shorelines and mudflats. Among the larger waders, the pied avocet is probably the most attractive of all. Generally black and white in plumage and long, strongly curved bill and long legs, can be seen feeding on the aquatic invertebrates by sweeping their beaks through water at median rate of 28 sweeps per minute. After spending the winter months in Farakka Iba, they return to their breeding ground in Central Asia by late March. Eurasian curlew is one of the long-distant migrants of the area and comes from as far as central Siberia. As large as a country chicken with long, down-curved bill, they could be seen feeding on the small mollusks and fishes in the knee-deep water. They are often seen resting in the sandbars. Due to loss of habitat and climate change, their numbers are rapidly decreasing. It has been found that in last 2 decades, their numbers has decreased 34% globally, and thus BirdLife International has listed them as globally near threatened. The black-bellied plover or the grey plover breeds widely in the high Arctic of North America and Eurasia. In winter, these Arctic birds are generally seen in the coastal region of the subcontinent, and surprisingly, Farakka Iba is a regular wintering site of this species. Among the smaller waders, the landscape is dominated by Kentish plover, little ring plover and stints. Often Kentish plover is seen with other plovers like this lesser sand plover. The alluvial floodplains of Ganges is rich in soil arthropod, and they relish it by probing their beaks into the mud. Long-distance migrants like these downlins, curlew sandpiper and the little stints are seen forming huge composite flocks and forage together. Farakka Iba is one of the most important stopover site for these species during their migration from Arctic tundra to the Indian subcontinent. Some other long-distance migrants, like this black-tailed godwit, shows remarkable journey, and birds breeding in Kazakhstan are known to winter in India. However, the most common wadder of the area is probably the small pratincoal. They are known to be locally migratory in nature and breeds in Bhutan and Northeast India. In winter, several thousand birds forming huge flocks are seen resting on the sandbars. Five species of gulls have been recorded from Farakka Iba. Out of these, the brown-headed, black-headed and Pallas's gull is the most common. The Pallas's gull is the largest of them and can be identified by the presence of white eye crescents. They breeds from the Black Sea to northwest Mongolia and winters on the Gangetic Plain. However, the star attraction of Farakka Iba is the white-tailed stonechat, a fairly common bird of the grassland and reed beds and regarded as the signature species of the Farakka Iba. They can be separated from the closely related Siberian stonechat by the presence of white inner webs on all rectrices apart from central pair and darker and less extensive breast patch. They are extremely rare in other parts of West Bengal but fairly common and bold in Panchanandpur area of Farakka Iba. Other common land birds includes blue throat, delicate prinia, and several wagtails, larks, and pipits. Among the mammals, the most noteworthy is the smooth-coated otter. Due to loss of habitat and competition with the fishermen for food, has resulted in the local extinction of the species outside protected areas and listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. However, small numbers of them are still found in the area. Evidence of their breeding has also been recorded in Panchanandpur area of Malda district. The golden jackal, on the other hand, is very common and increasing in number. But this little known bird paradise is a killing field for thousands of migratory birds and other wildlife. Every year, uncountable number of birds are killed by the poachers using poison beds. Though their prime targets are migratory ducks, which are sold in the nearby markets for human consumption, smaller migratory species like hordes of waders are killed as bycatch. Furadon, a widely used agricultural pesticide, which is also known as purple death, is mainly used with the baits and are placed on the roosting sites of the migratory ducks. After consuming such baits, birds fall sick and eventually dies. The Gangetic river dolphin, our national aquatic animal, is another victim of human apathy. Every year, several dolphins are killed by the fishing nets, often accidentally, but sometimes intentionally, for its oil, which is used as bait to catch catfishes. The freshwater dolphins are already on the verge of extinction, and killing of just a single individual may cause detrimental effect on its population. To mitigate this problem, Green People's India, a local NGO, has started mass awareness program among students and common people around Panchanandpur. Local fishermen were also included in these awareness programs.
সচেতনতামূলক যে অনুষ্ঠানটি আয়োজন করা হয়েছে তার জন্য অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ এই এনজিও সংস্থাটিকে। আমাদের আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানের মূল উদ্দেশ্য হচ্ছে এখানে যে গঙ্গা যে রিভার সিস্টেমটি আছে, এখানে যে ওয়াইল্ড লাইফ অ্যানিমেল যেগুলো মাঝে মধ্যে ধরা পড়ে, সেখানে সাধারণ মানুষের সচেতনতার অভাবে সেগুলো অনেক সময় তাদের প্রাণহানি হয়। পঞ্চানন্দপুরী কেন? কারণ
এটা একটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ পাখি অঞ্চল না, এটা আমরা বলছি না, গ্রিন পিপলস ইন্ডিয়া বলছে না, ফরেস্ট ডিপার্টমেন্ট বলছে না, এটা একটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ পাখি অঞ্চল ডিক্লেয়ার্ড বাই কারা বলেছে? বার্ড লাইফ ইন্টারন্যাশনাল।
বিষ মিশিয়ে পাখিদের মেরে ফেলা, তারপর কচ্ছপ, যেগুলো কিন্তু আমাদের ধরা বারণ। কোনোভাবেই আমরা এদের মেরে ফেলতে পারি না বা এদের ধরে খেয়ে ফেলতে পারি না।
বাসস্থান নষ্ট করে দেওয়া, এবার বাসস্থান কি রাতারাতি নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে? রাতারাতি নষ্ট হয়ে যায়নি, এত ধীরে ধীরে নষ্ট হয়েছে, তাদের বাসস্থানকে নষ্ট করা হয়েছে যে স্থানীয় মানুষরাও বুঝতে পারছেন না যে বন্যপ্রাণরা 30, 40, 50 বছর আগে যে পরিমাণ ছিল, যে তারা হঠাৎ করেই বা এত 50 বছর পরে নেই কেন।
আমাদের ইচ্ছে আছে আপনাদের আমাদের ইচ্ছে আছে ঘাটে এসে একটা ক্যাম্পেইন করবো, বড় করে মাইক ফাইক লাগিয়ে, ঠিক আছে? এটা আমরা
Of late, Farakka Iba has started gaining its popularity as top birding destination. Due to its proximity with Malda town, especially the Panchanandupur area is very popular among birdwatchers and photographers. Birders from all parts of West Bengal and even outside West Bengal has started visiting this Iba, especially for the white-tailed stonechat. With dwindling fish population, wildlife tourism could be an alternate source of livelihood for the fishermen and boatmen. So, please come, explore, enjoy and protect the precious wildlife of Farakka Iba.